Hey, what's going on, Entrepreneur Masters? Today we are with Steve Miller, not the Steve Miller Band, Steve Miller, but the copy guy, Steve Miller. What's going on, Steve?
David Hill. I got to say, names are big to me, right? I hear people's names and you think of something, right? And David Hill sounds very professional to me. It sounds like you should be a professor, a doctor,
Yes.
or something. And maybe you are, for all I know.
I am a professional, for sure. Doctor,
Thank you.
I don't know if people have called me that before. They've called me a psychologist or a psychiatrist.
Okay.
But you know what's funny, when I just shaved my beard because my wife pretty much made me, but when I have my long beard, I tend to look more like a professor, like a
Oh
college
yeah. Oh yeah.
person.
But you know what?
Thank
I
you.
hate to say it. My wife does not like a long beard.
No, mine doesn't either. So they have that in common. Well, well, listen, I'm glad you're here with us today. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of my favorite topics: copy, branding, and as well as marketing and B2B marketing specifically. So excited to have you on today, Steve. A little bit about Steve is he is a dynamic and innovative thought leader in personal branding and B2B marketing. He's more than just an author. He's got 10 books, y'all, 10 books with 4 of them being bestsellers. His most recent Amazon bestseller is called Uncopyable, which I loved. As soon as I heard that, I said, okay, I want that on my podcast. Like, how do we be
Uncopyable.
uncopyable, Steve? Right?
Yeah.
That's the magic question. So
Yeah.
thanks for
Actually,
joining us today.
thank you.
Tell us, like, for those, we'll start right there, man. Let's just start right
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure it's actually four. There four our most recent 4 books. And I say our is that two. My wife, who is better known as Muffler Mama, that in itself is a story. She was the world's #1 muffler salesperson. Can you imagine that? A woman.
It's a lot of mufflers, man.
I wrote my first book many years ago, and then since then, our last 4 books have all been based on the uncopyable philosophy, which to just put it down into as much of a soundbite and a way to start the conversation is to say that, and Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead said it best when he was quoted as saying, it's not enough to be the best of the best. You have to be the only one who does what you do. This was a rock star who understood a business concept very clearly. And same thing, and so we decided several years ago, and somewhere along the line, I came up with the word uncopyable that just fit with the philosophy. And so everything that we do, yes, we're helping companies and people market themselves and everything. But the main thing is to be different. It's not enough. People don't buy you because you are similar to the competition. They buy you because you are going to deliver something different for them. That's where the uncopyable comes in. Is that you want to be able to deliver something that they go, I can't get that anywhere else. So you are it. You are my only choice.
So I love that as a preference, to start. And so being the best, it's not enough to be. I wrote that down. What you said, Jerry Garcia. It's not enough to be the best of the best, but to be the only one. Let's dig deeper a little deeper into that before. How do you, like, because a lot of our listeners, let's just say, are in let's say real estate agents. Well, everybody knows a lot of real estate agents, right? Like,
yeah,
we have this joke that we say everybody has 2 licenses, a driver's license and a real estate license. And it's kind of true. I hate to say it, but
I
true.
love
But
that.
so
I love
so
that.
how do you,
I'm
so how
writing
does
that
some
down to steal myself, as
there
a matter
you go.
of fact. So
Good. I love it. You
I
can
love
use
it.
that.
I love it.
But
Well,
it's true. It's a joke in the real estate industry. But so people are probably listening. Well, I feel like I am the best, but how am I going to be the only
it
one?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you say you're the best. It doesn't matter if you
Mm,
think you're the best. It doesn't even matter if you think you're the best. It doesn't even matter if you can prove you're the best. All right. The only thing that matters is what the person on the other side is. The person who has the checkbook. That checkbook. I'm using. Here I'm
it's
showing
all
my
right. We got
age.
Venmo now. We
Never
got
mind. Yeah,
Cash App. We got
the person on the other
Bitcoin.
side with PayPal and Venmo and all those things. That is the only person that matters. And when they are looking at you, and in today's world, technology has commoditized everything.
Mm.
If it can be copied, it is copied. And you might say that you are the best at something. And you hear this a lot from companies and people, and they go, "Oh, hey, our competitor over there, they have this." And I'll just say widget, service, whatever. Okay, all right. Well, our service is better. Our service, in fact, our service is the best in the business. And the bottom line is that everybody in your business, everybody in your industry, and I guess I should use a phrase that we're all familiar with. This is the box that you are in that everybody keeps talking about. When
Mm.
anybody says to you, you got to get out of the box. Number one, nobody's ever explained that. Think about it. They say, "Oh, you got to get out of the box." What the hell are they talking about? What box? Be specific about it. Well, the box, it's simple. The box is your world. The box is your marketplace. It's your competition. It's your customers. It's the trade shows you attend, the conferences you attend. It's the magazines you read. That's all in the box. That's what it is. And you sit there and you stare at everybody in that box. And everybody's staring back at you. And if somebody comes up with an idea, a concept that might be new, the very first question they have is, can I make it better? If they can make it better, that means it is copyable.
Hmm.
All right. And so when and in our world, when we're teaching people, we're saying, okay, you don't want to compete in the box. And the phrase "get out of the box" is short in value. What you want to do is you want to build your own box. So that where you control the environment, you control the competition. You are writing the rules of competition, so to speak, in your own box, and you're forcing your competition to compete with you, and they can't. Because in your own box, you're creating something that is of value and meaningful, useful to your base, your target market, and then they go, "You're it. You're the only one. You're the
So
only one who can do what you are saying you can do. You're the only one, and so that's who we have to work with."
so let's do this. I would like to give them an example
Sure.
of that. And then I want to know how, like, are you referring, to like, yeah, some trainers and coaches, and they say there's the world and then there's the world that's in front of you, like your world. You're referring to the person, like if I'm talking to you right now, we're talking about your world, not the whole world. So are
Right.
you referring to being the best in the world as the best in your world, or the best in and I asked this for context.
Okay. For context, okay, right behind me. And by the way, if and here's something that's important for everybody to understand. Okay, everything you see in my picture is I'm walking the talk, and we'll be explaining this as we go. All right. Um, Up in the corner, there's a picture of a moose. we use the phrase "the moose" as our terminology. This is one way to be uncopyable. This is one way to break out of the competitive morass of sameness. Is that you use your own terminology, you create your own language. So the example, one simple example, everybody understands. You know what? None of us had any idea that we did not know how to order coffee until Starbucks came along. When you go in and you order a cup of coffee from Starbucks, what is the phrasing that you use?
Yeah, I that's funny you say that. I'm the rebellion. I still say large, medium, and small.
But you see, you just said you're the
Yes,
rebellion
that's
because
right.
you're the rebellion to the language that Starbucks has put upon us.
It's a great point. That's a
Right.
great
So
example.
see, you still get it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah.
You still get that they have created a language that even it doesn't matter which side you're on, whether you're on the side who agrees with it or the side who rebels against it. You're still using the language. And you're still saying, okay, I'm not going to order a venti. I'm not going to order, a tall. I'm not, or I'm going to order a large. I mean, I get it. I understand. I'm with you on that stuff. But that's how they have helped to make themselves uncopyable. All right, is something as simple as language. And in our world, our target market, we call them moose. Because we want to paint a picture for our clients. We want to paint a picture for our marketplace. And this picture is so stupidly simple. And what I mean by this is that, people say, okay, who's your target market? Well, even that question, what the hell does that mean? See, the way we teach our clients is we say, okay, you're hunting in a forest. You are hunting. I shouldn't say in a forest. Here's what I'm going to say. You have defined your target market as moose. That's who your target market is. You want to go out and you want to hunt moose. All right. Do you go to Florida?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know
where do you think you would go? Where would you go to?
I would go where moose are. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
See, that's exactly right. You would go where the moose are. They would be up in Canada somewhere, North America.
Not a lot in Boston, I'll tell you that.
They're not in Boston. That's exactly right. They are not in Boston. You are going to go where the moose are. All right. So now we go into the forest where the moose are, and we're in that forest. And are there any other animals?
Yeah, I would assume so.
There are a lot of other animals, right? Now, let's think about a moose. Now, what does a moose eat? What are what are they hungry for? That type of stuff. Does it matter? Do I take a tennis racket to go beat a moose to death? No, I need a moose gun. Right? I need a moose gun. I need to offer a bait that a moose is sitting there going, man, I'm hungry for that. That's what I need. I want that. Now, is that the same bait that rabbits, deer, bear, foxes, squirrels, monkeys, no, it's moose bait. That's what it is. It's moose bait. So the point being that you pick out you when you know who your market is, when you know who your target is, you call them moose, and then in your head you start to describe, what do I need to do to get that moose? Okay, and it's a word that makes a big difference. Our clientele over the last 39 years, there are a couple of things that they walk away with that they use in their language. And the first one is moose. They go, who's your moose? People say to them, how can you be so, how are you so successful? What is it that you learned? What is it you do? And their first question to everybody is, who's your moose? And because that's where you start. You start with your moose, but you got to know your moose better than anybody else on the planet.
Mm.
All right. And then, and you talk, so again, like saying, you know, latte, venti, you know, mocha, oh, machado, I don't know what the heck Starbucks says, but anyway,
So
see,
to that point, Steve, so most of the people that come to me for help, with customer acquisition, consult, whatever it is, they're not 100% clear on who that moose, who is my moose. They think it's everybody, right? It's the moose, it's the bear, it's the rabbit, it's the fox, right?
am I an L or am I backwards?
No. So help us in give us
That's
like
step one. See,
the
that is
magic question.
step one
Yeah.
of being a
How does someone
successful
figure that
business
out?
person, a successful company, anything like that. Step one is knowing your target market.
Yeah. So I know we're not here for 6 hours today, but what would you say give us like how does somebody figure that out? Like give us the 1 minute version, and then they got to get your book and get in touch with you for the rest
Well,
of it. But
the best way to approach business is moose first. The vast majority of businesses start product first. I'm going to build a product, and then I'm going to go sell it. Now, what happens here is, okay, I build a product, I build this product, and then I have to go out and I have to find people who will want to pay me for this. Well, then you start getting into, okay, who can pay me for this? And how do I find them? And that's completely backwards. That's the worst way to start a business, is to have a product and try to sell that first.
why do you think most people do that? Which is probably the most common thing that happens.
Yeah, it is the most common. I did it too. Many years ago, before, when I first got started, I mean, back at my last real job, I was sales and marketing for a radio control toy company out of Japan. So we would build toys and then go try to sell them, right? And now that I look back on it, I think I was tremendously successful until I made one massive mistake. And that was when I started. I was wildly successful. I was we were the #1 radio control toy company in the world. And I thought I walked on water. Right. And then I came up with the concept for a new type of radio controlled toy. It was a radio controlled ball. Now imagine that, just a ball. That's all it was. No antennas, nothing like that. It was a radio control ball, and you had your controller, and this ball would run all over the place and everything like that. I thought it was just going to absolutely blow the walls off Toys R Us. Okay. And it completely bombed, because the market didn't want it. See, the market did not want it. All the models that we were building that were successful were these off-road 4-wheel drive. They just loved that. They loved it. And so I ignored them. I ignored the market, and I built a product, and it sucked. And I got fired. Because of that. I deserved it. I deserved to get fired. Because now looking back, it's like, that was so dumb of me to think that I know better than the moose, right? No, the thing is, I want, if I have enough moose out there that I can reach, I can communicate with, and they have money to spend, and they're willing to spend it, and they also refer to each other, talk to each other, all that stuff. Well, then the smartest thing I could do is continue to learn as much about them and their wants and their desires, and problems and that stuff, and then help them. That's the smartest way to go.
Mm. But if somebody's, so I'm just thinking out loud here,
Yeah.
and thinking from the perspective of our listeners now. If somebody's listening and saying, well, you know what, I like whatever, creating these widgets, or I like whatever it is. I don't know, use any example, but yet there's not a big market out there for that.
Wow, that's
Right.
That's exciting.
Boy,
you're gonna pay a lot of bills. You're gonna save a lot of money.
I know, but
you're gonna live.
so
You're gonna live the life. I'll tell you.
The example, but how does somebody figure that out, Steve? Like, how do you shift to like, so like, right? Like, how do you shift to like, okay, I love doing this. I've been doing this forever. I'm not making any money.
Yeah, but you're not making any money.
A mediocre
there's
business.
The shift. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm going to say to somebody, I'm going to say, are you done being hurt, being in pain? Are you done? Or do you want to just keep on being in pain, thinking that the market, that you can come up with an idea that you think people should want? That word is so stupid. It's just like saying find a need and fill it. We've all heard that phrase, find a need and fill it. It is the dumbest phrase. Because we all think everybody needs our stuff. You know what? Here's the harsh reality. Most of the time, everybody doesn't agree with you.
Yeah, I know that.
And if they don't agree with you, if they don't agree they have a need, there is no need. There is no reaching for the credit card. There is no reaching for the, they don't. They're not gonna give you money. They are not gonna give you money. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer being smart to yourself, or do you prefer depositing lots of money?
Yeah, well, I know for me, I prefer both. But if I have to pick one, I'm going to pick money. So I want to shift gears a little bit. So as far as first step is what I'm taking is first step is first you got to figure out who's your moose, what's your moose,
who's your
number
moose?
one.
Boom.
By
That's
far.
it.
That's it.
Who's your moose?
Who's your moose? Okay, good.
Who's your moose? That is we call it. That's step one of what we teach. We call it the marketing diamond. It's not rocket science. It's not new. It's just our version, our phraseology. That we call it the marketing diamond, and the number one step of the marketing diamond is who's your moose.
All right, so I want to go into this, like the mistakes. I want to give them. You tell us the top two mistakes you see people make when it comes to being uncopyable or breaking out of the sameness.
Well, okay. Step number one, the very first mistake that people make is thinking that being better is being uncopyable. It isn't remotely close to being uncopyable. It has nothing to do with being better. Means you just here. Okay, let me ask you a question, David. What company created? Well, we'll start with an easy one. All right. What hotel chain was the first one to put coffee makers in their hotels?
I don't know. I guess Hilton. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Honestly,
your guess is as good as mine. And you know what? We don't care.
Yeah.
All right. It does not matter who did it first because all of a sudden, every single one of the other hotel chains said, "Hey, we need to put coffee makers in our hotels, in our rooms." Okay, because that and in fact, what we'll do is we'll put Keurigs, because Keurigs are better than those stupid small coffee makers that people do. That ours is better, right? The hotel chains are every marketplace does this. Every single marketplace does this. Every industry does this. Every marketplace does this. And that's where they are in their box. They're staring at each other, right? And they see somebody, and one of the hotel chains says, I know what we're going to do. We're going to make our beds better. And so we're going to create something, and we're going to call it the heavenly bed. And we're going to put the heavenly bed in, and man, we are going to absolutely knock it out of the park. We are going to kill our competition. Okay. Who was the hotel chain that created the heavenly bed? Do you know?
No, Marriott.
It was Westin Hotels.
Oh, Westin. There you go. See,
every single hotel chain now has their own kind of bed.
Yeah.
Every single one. Because they're all looking at each other and they're going, oh, I can make a better bed. I can have a sleep number bed. Ours will be better. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's not, you're okay. You make something that you think is better. Well, you know, the marketplace doesn't care about stuff like that. So when you're looking for, I mean, what did Apple Computer do to separate themselves from the competition? They created, they took it from IBM. They took the information from IBM and they made a thing called a mouse. Right. And the mouse was, and their mouse was so far ahead of the Microsoft, because Microsoft was a software. Right. And they didn't build hardware at the beginning and stuff. And so Apple was able to use that. And then they also took advantage of the internal, the OS, the operating software system on the inside. And they made it very, very simple to use. Okay. Now, did it end up being uncopyable forever? No, not forever, but for a very long time. For a very long time. And, and when you take a look at companies who are very, very successful, most of the time they are successful not through products. No, most of the time they are the market owner, not through products, because products are nowadays, technology commoditizes everything. You know, if it's a product and it can be copied, it is. It is. That's what technology does. Right. So we have to look for things, and those are tangibles typically. And so we have to look for things that are intangible that we can use to create uncopyable experiences, so to speak. What is the world's most successful roller coaster?
The mountain. What is it? Space Mountain. That's
good for you. Good for you.
Is that what it's called?
90+% of the people I asked that to start talking to me about, Kings Island, Magic Mountain, and these big, high, crazy roller coasters. Okay?
I don't even know how I knew that, but they must have did a good job marketing.
That is exactly right. But you see, but Disney did not build a roller coaster. Okay, when it gets right down to it, it's a roller coaster, but it's the whole experience that Disney is selling that makes people want to go in there over and over and over again and ride Space Mountain. But the bottom line is that, and I have been in I've ridden Space Mountain, I don't know, 100 times, between and I was in Orlando one time when something broke down. I don't remember what happened, but something's and the whole thing just stopped. The roller coaster stopped. All the lights came on. And guess what we all realized when we were sitting there looking at each other? We realized we were just on a roller coaster, and it really wasn't that great of a roller coaster. Okay? It was it's just a small roller coaster. It doesn't go up super high, it doesn't go 200 feet into the air and then dive down, and it doesn't loop-de-loop, and it doesn't do all that stuff. It's an experience that Disney has designed. Disney sells experiences.
Mm.
You know, that's and they charge a lot of money for those experiences, and people just keep on paying. And you know, so the same thing can apply to any company can do that. There's this doll store, okay, that is, you know, do you have any kids?
Yeah, I have three daughters, grandchildren. Yeah.
Okay, how much did the American Girl store cost you?
Oh God, what are dolls over there? $300 for a doll.
Okay, right. What an idiot you are for doing that, right? You know, you're no, and I'm saying that to be funny because that's exactly right. All right, it's just a doll, okay. But what have they sold? What is when my daughter was growing up, there was only one store, and it was in Chicago. And when when she turned 10, and you know, I had a lot of miles. I'm an idiot. You know, I was on the airplane all the time. So I had a lot of miles. And she said she wanted to, you know, go to the American Girl store. We said, okay, cool. So we go to the American Girl store. Do you remember the first time you went in, how much time you spent in that store?
It's been a bunch of years. Maybe 45 minutes. I guess it was probably
Really? Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
Mine was 3 hours.
Wow, that's good. Yeah.
Mine was 3 hours, and I learned something, because in my world, you know, I study everything. I'm watching everything. I'm looking around. It doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing. I'm looking to see what they are doing to get moose and take care of their moose. And so I'm in the American Girl, and I'm thinking, what is going on at this place? You know, well, okay, they have a beauty salon for their dolls. They have they have a photo studio for a magazine, so your kid can go be on the cover.
That's right.
Of American Girl magazine, right? They have a bookstore of historical books about the dolls, because they're historically accurate books about the dolls, right? So now what are they doing now? Is they're now, as a manager at the Chicago store said to me once, she says, we put vitamins in the cake. And so what she meant by that was that all these parents and grandparents who are coming in with their kids, they're just there to buy a doll. That's all they're going to do. They're going to buy a doll, but they're going to buy a story that goes with that doll, right? And why is the story important? And some of the stories are American history. You know, my daughter's doll was the American Revolution. So she was 10 when she got her doll, and when and by the time she was 15, she knew more about the American Revolution accurately, because all the books were fact-based, historically accurate books. So that makes mom and dad and grandma and grandpa a little happier to spend the money. They put vitamins in the cake, right? And see, and that's part of this, is that you know, people don't buy content, they don't buy products. What we want to do is we want to sell transformation.
So as we're gonna start wrapping up, and now Steve, I want to transition into AI.
Yeah.
Because right now everybody's an expert with AI, right? So everybody does copy. You know, so
Yep.
what are your thoughts on that? Should we be using it? Are
Yes.
there better ways to use it? So
I use it every day.
Your thoughts.
I use it every day. You know, since December of 2022, when OpenAI released ChatGPT, I've been on it every day. I'm one of those guys that I'm always.
Me too. I'm on it all the time. Absolutely.
Yeah. So but you look at it from a perspective again of how does it help you because let's go back to the box. See, I always say, okay, there is no getting out of the box, because even when they say that to you, it's like, and what? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. Get out of the box. It doesn't. All those stupid statements mean nothing. No, you have to build your own box. That's what you have to do. You go build your own box, and you put the stuff in your box that you want to put in your box. And one of the things today that you put in your own box is AI. You have to learn how to use AI and use it well. You have to be able to go in and understand how to talk to AI, how to and how to use it. Now, how can you use it if you're in sales or marketing or something like that? How can you use it? Well, all right, here, you see this?
Yeah, talking point.
Right. This is my 8 pages of notes the AI gave me about David Hill.
Wow, look at that! I love it.
See, because I want to know about you. I want to know about your audience. I want to know about all that sort of stuff. And so I go in and I said, and I say, hey, look, I'm going to be a guest. And so give, and you notice it said talking points and sound bites. Right. And so, and here's the thing. I can teach AI to think like me. I can teach AI to talk like me, sound like me, and give me answers that Steve would give. All right. Now, it's not perfect. Obviously, it's not perfect. But like, for example, my books, right? I have AI set up where all of my books are in there. It also has access to my website. It has access to, I have hundreds of videos. And all the podcasts that I'm on. Okay. Every time I'm on a podcast, it gets put into there. Right. So the AI is learning more and more about me. So now when I go in and I say, I'm going to be on The Persistent Entrepreneur. And I say, I want to be the best guest that he's ever had. And how can I do that? What should I be looking for? What should I be thinking about? What are their issues? What are their problems? All that stuff. Okay. So now I have set up AI to answer my questions for me that way. Yes, I also go and I listen to some of your podcasts, because I want to kind of hear the tone of voice, from you and your guests, Nick Lowry, Kansas City Chiefs, all right, going into the Super Bowl. That's cool.
Oh man, I can't stand the Chiefs. But anyway,
So
tell Nick I said that.
Yeah. So so this helps me to be better prepared for you, right?
Yes, brilliant. It's brilliant.
I know, and this is AI. This is what AI is supposed to do. This is what AI is all about. Now, obviously, I mean, I can do all kinds of stuff with AI, but this is a great example of what I'm talking about. AI, do I believe in it? Damn right. Damn right.
I love it. I think it's perfect too. I mean, for people listening to this, to just do what you just did. If you're going to be meeting with a customer or whether it's could be a homeowner, go, check out, AI will scrape their LinkedIn page and their social pages, or if it's a business, then obviously AI will get you as much info as you need. So that's brilliant. I love that. All right. So give us, well, first off, tell us how, Steve, do people get in touch with you if they want to learn more? Also get a copy of your book.
Well, obviously the books are on Amazon. If you go, you can Google Uncopyable or Steve Miller and Uncopyable.
I love the name too.
Yeah. And you know how they talk about with SEO is you want to be the top half of the first page of Google. If you Google Uncopyable, after 20 pages, you'll just get tired of looking. Because I'm it. Kay and I are it for 20. You'll go 20 pages. It's 20 full pages, all about Uncopyable and about us. All right. Wow. So, and that's the power of language. It's the power of owning a word like that, owning a phrase or something, because then Google starts to glom onto that, and you get out and you're repeating it over and over again, and you're saying to people, and you're telling people about it, you know, and part of it is like moose, right? You know, moose is part of the uncopyable thing. Guess, you know, can you guess that there might be something else that's in my picture here that people might want to pay attention to? What color am I wearing? Orange. All right. We teach people that whenever they see the color orange, see the book covers, all 4 books are orange. Everything's orange around here. You know, my glasses that I was wearing, everything's orange. We walk the talk. We tell people, when you see the color orange, you should automatically think of the word Uncopyable and Steve Miller. Automatically. Okay. Now, and that's what's happened. That's where it is now. Mattress Mac, the Houston furniture store owner who's world famous for having taken care of Houston during Hurricane Katrina, everything like that. You know, he had read my book, and the Houston Astros came out for the opening game of their season a couple of years ago, and they all came running out in their orange jerseys. And he turned to his son and he said, "Steve Miller, we have to call Steve Miller tomorrow." And he called me and hired me on, you know, the next morning on the spot to consult for them. And so see, awesome. Those are examples of what I'm talking about in this, is that you can do things that make people automatically think of you. Automatically think of you. So and when they Google you, they find you. When they, you know, and that's the whole thing, is look for ways to help people remember you. But you've got to be different, and everybody's different. So I don't want to, you know, we're all different. We all have different personalities. We all have different ways. You know, I had a bunch of different jobs. You know, if you look at my bio, it shows, okay, I was a PGA Golf Tour player. Yes, I was. Okay, I was a stuntman. Yes, I was. I worked in the copper mines of Arizona. Yes, I did that. Okay, and you look at them all as being like, oh wow, that's really interesting. No, I couldn't keep a job. You know, I mean, I didn't pay for I didn't make enough money on the golf tour, otherwise I'd still be out there, you know, playing. Yeah, but what I learned from all of this was everything gave me a perspective, and everything was knowledge, and everything. These were all these different boxes I was in, and that's the beauty. You see, is if you want to learn something, you got to go to another box.
100%. So tell us, Steve, how do people get in touch with you?
Uncopyable.com is our website, and you can reach me in there. And here's something my smoking hot wife did for everybody. Was she put together a 5 email package for Uncopyable You. Wow. Uncopyable.com, 5 emails, the number 5 emails for those of you who are listening, and you can get that. Yeah, and you got questions, just fire them off to me. All right, I'm easy to communicate with, and happy to answer questions that people have. No problems.
I love it. Great examples today. Great stories today. I loved it. Give us final thoughts, Steve. What's the one thing, like, people you want? If there's only one thing people walk away from this with today, what would you want it to be?
Well, the one thing is to recognize that most people try to stand out by being better, and that's just going to be a losing cause, frustrating cause, stuff like that. The only thing that really matters is when there is no alternative for you.
So good. So good. Appreciate you, Steve. Thank you, man. Awesome. We're going to do this again in the future.
Thank you, David. Very much. Appreciate very much the opportunity to come here and share with you.
Absolutely. I got a lot of nuggets. I can't wait to go back to listen to this myself and incorporate some of those things. And I never had anybody on my podcast. We talk so much about animals. Moose. I will never forget the moose. So thank you for that, brother. That's with me now forever. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.